Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? I'm just, I'm going to make a video. I don't care where it goes. I just, um, yeah. Incidentally, I've got a new microphone. Not microphone. Uh, I guess it would be microphone. A Snowball, something or other, on sale at Fred Meyer for $40. So if I do sitting at the computer, looking at it and kind of thing, set up. I would use that kind of deal, but yeah. Um, Maybe as a question, just started as a question for you guys. Do you really feel like um, people understand what your desires are? I mean, do you feel like people that you know really, they really understand you at a profoundly deep level and what you want in life? I mean, I would guess if you could say that you know you're very close to some people that are like that, awesome. I would suppose it's even better if you're dating someone or you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that's that way, or you're married to someone that gets you on that very deep level. I wouldn't know, but well, maybe hopefully one of these days. But the thing is that um, I've known people in my own church that assumed that I liked certain kinds of women, or I assumed that I don't know. I do like refined women, but there's certain things, I don't know, that are very hard to explain that I'll know when I come across a woman that has these qualities, but it's just, look, I'm guessing that a fair number of you guys, at least, um, are very familiar with the feeling that um, people don't really understand what it is that you're after in life. Most people don't. And maybe there's only one or two that do understand that's what you are about in life, more or less. I really think that this is a major problem. And I want to tackle this in this video. The first illusion, I guess we'd say, the first illusion that people need to get rid of when, with regard to understanding other people far better, is that someone's character or soul is not really very much at all defined by their interests or aptitudes and things, it has a connection with that, perhaps. That there is some degree of that, those things that influence a person's personality and character, sure, but more to the point, it's what would a person do given different choices. So if I understand someone at a profoundly deep level, and if they understand me at that level, it involves knowing or having a pretty good idea of what that person would do in most any circumstance, and why. That's more importantly why they would do what they do, why they do what they do. Um, it has to do with understanding what it is that a person wants that they can't really articulate. So it's like the spiritual self, it's the higher self. Whatever that thing is. I tried to explain to people in the past that why I play video games has more to do with things that I'm searching for that I can't really put my finger on. I've often been disappointed, but sometimes I've been actually fairly pleased. It's all aesthetic. It's all spiritual at some level. It's hard to explain, but you just feel completely immersed in a game when the game gets you, or the game is just, there's things about it that you can't explain what it is you like, why I like about it, that you just absolutely love it. And no, I'm not talking about Skyrim, guys. It's just this. Oh boy. Anyway. No, not Skyrim. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just, no. Um, there's a lot of idiots out there. A lot. A lot of them are members of my church, as I said before. And how would I define an idiot, by the way? Well, you think it's a IQ thing I'm talking about, and I suppose lower IQs can influence this, but it's a little bit more of something kind of along the following lines. You know, if what they're about is kind of, well, I really, I think I should probably rephrase some of this stuff, but it's just that if the person, okay, I think I know how to say this. Because, of course, on some level, I fall into these tendencies as well. We all do, and some, well, more or less. But just imagine somebody who finds themselves spending all of their time talking to people that are kind of trashy for whatever reason. Their life is just kind of trashy. They themselves they're not trashy. They're a good person, very good person, but they find that they're trapped there, and so maybe they're trying to get away from that life. Cool. But that's the first step to not being an idiot, is trying to get away from that life. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like some people, a true idiot, in my opinion, is when someone is aware, fully aware that some aspect of their life is bad, right? But instead of not being sure how to get rid of that, or if it should be gotten rid of. So a person that's an idiot has to know that it's going to be very bad for them to do whatever. It's associate with all those folks, or to do these things over and over again, fully knowing that it's going to be bad. So I guess, it's like, I think we're all kind of like idiots that way, but it's just that from a social standpoint, I really would have a tough time dating somebody that is fully aware that, you know, most of who they associate with are scummy. And they actually want those people in their lives. But, I mean, I guess I have to, I don't know, very scummy in my opinion. This is just that there's a lot of different sides to all this stuff, but I don't know. I think most people have some very underdeveloped awarenesses of other people. That's probably the best way of putting that. Just, a fair amount of airheads out there. How could I be married? Or how could I be attracted to somebody who's kind of an airhead? Not the blonde ditzy thing that you might be thinking about always. I just mean an airhead. How could I find someone like that really attractive as a person? It's not impossible, but it's kind of like, wow. Yeah. Certain nights, by the way, I just have these very strong feelings. And it's I guess one of the most intense feelings is that nobody really understands how I'm feeling. And worse than that, nobody cares. I don't believe that second part. I'm more inclined to believe the first one. Why do I believe that? Well, it has a lot to do with how people are. You know, I don't know how I can put this better, but the way that I see people socially has a great deal to do with the way that I see religion. I really cannot stand many members of my church at all. I can't stand them. I got to the point where I can't do it. It's because of what they apparently see in me, or what they don't say to me, or just how they are, how they act. I mentioned this before in other videos, by the way, a few others in the past. When people misjudge on purpose, when people just don't value you. Let's say you listening to this video right now, you know you're an awesome person. You have so many great qualities. And when people don't see those qualities, they suck, right? That sucks. It's depressing. It's hard. You want people that you want to get to know to better be part of life. You want people to notice those great qualities you have, right? As human beings, this is what we want. But if all you get is judgment, how the devil is that supposed to help us to feel happier? So yeah, of course I could mention other kinds of folks too outside of my church, of course. It's just, wow, man. This is a major problem. So many people do not understand other people. They cannot perceive people's desires. They misjudge them. Some people are shockingly idiotic in that regard, and they pride themselves on having a high degree of social intelligence. I guess. I guess. I mean, people, we make mistakes. We make mistakes in judgment of character, sure. I guess it's kind of like Charles Schultz, for instance. If somebody were to think he was not very intelligent because he didn't do well in math, instead he pursued cartooning and creative things. I mean, Charles Schultz was a great man. You just take it on the chin. But no, he was quite intelligent. Just math was not his forte. I don't think people that are worth the time of day. I mean, I don't think people that don't, just do not care about how you or I are feeling or doing. Or they don't care about where we're going in life. They're not worth our time. Time to find some new people to meet, talk to. I just, with time, I'm just so freaking bold about this stuff. Forthright. I would completely, absolutely, emotionally destroy someone who was trying to mess with me at this point. I mean, I would have very harsh words for somebody, extremely harsh words for somebody who was acting like an idiot on purpose. I'm not talking always about IQ here. I'm talking about not just bullying. It's not just bullying. It's not. It's like I guess this is seen in the movie Jack Reacher with um, Tom Cruise, and he's, I guess, at this diner or something, and there's this girl that sits down at his table, and she's trying to flirt with him, or she's trying to get him to notice her that way, romantically, amorously, sexually, whatever. And then this guy comes along, and he's, trying to get a rise out of Jack Reacher's character, and that whole thing. And it's all a setup. And but Jack sees, he sees this right off the bat. He knows it's a setup. He knows what's going on here. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of crap. It's evil. It's wrong. The way that people use other people, use and abuse them. It's like that song. Some of them want to be abused, some of them, I don't know. It's messed up, but it's, you know. So just imagine in that movie, I don't know if you've seen that movie. I've only seen parts of it really, but you have this young guy who has no idea that he's going to be set up for, I don't know what. Maybe being robbed or being, I don't know, taken advantage of, just being bullied or belittled. So he has young woman come up to him and show interest in him. And then this other guy comes along and like, oh no. To have her, you're gonna have to fight me first. And there's too many of them. They're too big. So they beat up the guy, and I guess I don't know, take his money, take what he has, and they go. Or whatever their setup is. Not only is he robbed, but his heart's broken. I mean, like, it's a movie. But this is the kind of crap that I never want to experience. Can you imagine, though, how much worse it is for people that aren't aware that they're being set up for this stuff? Some kinds of idiocy are a lot more forgivable. I just have no patience for it all. The next person I know who acts like an idiot, take him by the collar, throw him up against a wall, and go, I am not to be trifled with. Do you understand? And just toss him aside like a ragdoll. I want to do that. Of course, if I do that, I'll be in trouble, So I think I'd only do that if there's something kind of physical confrontation that happened beforehand. I don't know. That's how angry I am about some things in life. Just want to beat the living daylights out of some people. Give them a very, very thorough talking to. The attitudes of some people in my church are absolutely disgusting. The arrogance I've seen, witnessed firsthand. My church and other churches as well. It's not just mine, but there's a lot of arrogance. There's a lot of judgment. I've been a victim of so much of that judgment in my life. It's just ridiculous. Actually, even growing up, my hometown, I think I was spared from a lot of that judgment. I mean, the guys I grew up with, the girls, they were the most amazing people in the world, but they were pretty awesome overall. I think in some respects, at least in some. I don't know. I don't think they were arrogant. I think just kind of small-minded, perhaps, in some respects. That's just when I was younger. That was my world when I was younger. We often feel trapped in our worlds, don't we, even if we get older? But as adults, we can move away. We can have a different life. I just want to tell people, I am not this person you think I am. I am so much more than that. So much more. I don't know what you're projecting on me, but whatever it is, you need to just, you know what? And some people I've known, I just get the crap out of my life right now. Just No. Yeah, I'm not sure what lie. I'm not sure what ridiculous notion you had about me that was stupid and messed up, but it's not me. Some people I've known need mental help, and members of my church, and others as well outside my church. It's so frustrating when you're talking to somebody who cannot even see, who can't even get the feeling that you are a very deep person. Not just a little, I don't know what. Why do people have these ridiculous notions of other people? Why can't people see people for who they are? How is it so hard? Is are people really all that dumbed down in terms of their own intuitions of people these days? Is it really that hard for people to understand other people? I mean, and talk about intuition about people. What do you perceive about somebody accurately? You're not judging them. You're perceiving them. What does your intuition say about somebody? It's a real issue. I just feel like I'm surrounded by idiots. They can't even. Again, it's not always an issue if somebody is just a little slow on the uptake. That's that whole IQ thing, that whole intelligence thing. It's not really what bothers me about people. Not really. Again, it's this willingness. It's willful um, disregarding of other people. It just you know it's a lack of um, I'm trying to think of the right word here. They're actually there's just I think there's a lowering. There's actually a lowering of social intelligence, um, social awareness for people, and it's really unhealthy. But getting back to my own mind and life here, I am not going to be who someone else thinks I am. That is far infinitely lower kind of character that I know I have. That person needs some help. They might not ever get it. They, and if somebody just, I don't know, has some growing up to do, I'm not going to be their daddy. That's not my job. I don't want anything to do with idiots at all, ever. I never have and never will. And again, by that term, what I mean is not something necessarily IQ related, but something that has a lot more to do with just being an emotional and social blockhead in a negative way. If it's something that someone can't really do much about, then that's different. Um, I might make another video, I'm not sure. But not sure if I really expressed myself fully or properly, actually. But if a person is a woman and they are in the dating range for me, whatever that means, I cannot assume that they or somebody that I should be so enamored by. They can't assume anything. If a person has great character and is someone I want to marry, then yes, I'll sense that. If not, it's not going to happen. So, all right, leave the comments below. Catch you later. Take care. Bye.